loves. Welcome back to the channel if you're new. Hi, my name is ADIE. I am your spiritual witchy bestie here on this side of the interwebs. We do lots of things. We do pick a cards, we do collective messages, we have a book club. We actually have two book clubs. One which is called Magically Meta. Okay, where we discover and explore magical books of wonder. We also have a sci-fi. If you're into sci-fi, we also have a sci-fi fantasy book club. Join them. They're linked down below if you're interested, because I am going to get back into that. I haven't started yet. I'm in the process of picking the books that we want to get into. But also I have lots of other resources for the spiritual baddie. I teach the spiritual baddie, so check out all the things down below. Oh, and I'm having a 2-for-1 deal right now, which is you can get 2 tarot readings for the price of 1. Okay, now I did this last year. I did a lot. I did like over 50 2-for-1s last summer. I will not have that many spots available this year, and I will not be extending it this year. I extended it quite a long time last year. That will not be happening this time around. So book if you're interested, okay? But we're going to get into this collective message here. This is going to be for the 12th. Sorry, I wanted to check. But this is going to be for the 12th. Let's see what the collective message is. I didn't pull the cards ahead of time like I was doing last week. But check out the description box, okay, you guys? Lots of good stuff down there. Okay. I'm just uploading a pick a card that's on its way to the channel. Let's see. Connection. Okay. We have the 2 of Pentacles here. This is really talking about priorities. Priorities. You know, a lot of you are wanting to like up your wealth with the 10 of Pentacles here, and it's going to take you making that 10 of Pentacles a priority. We do have the Devil, and we do have the 6 of Cups. So this is telling me either a relationship from the past or a connection that feels very like strong, an emotional connection with somebody. This is ultimately, it doesn't necessarily mean that the person is toxic per se, but maybe even just the connection, or like where the connection stands right now, or the situation where it stands. In order for you to get to this 10 of Pentacles, which is ultimately you having longevity in your finances, it's going to take you kind of gauging how attached do you need to be to this person, to this situation, okay? Because it's hindering you from moving forward with the 8 of Wands here, okay? We have the 3 of Swords here. This situation can be very like detrimental, I want to say. Like it could be very like hard for you to get out the process. Like it's like you need to process this situation. This could involve a child. This could involve a child with the 6 of Cups here. There's some type of like emotional pain that's affecting the mental state, and it's become a little bit too much, you know. I think you're also holding on to too much with the 4 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands here. You could be holding on to way too much. You know, there is a deep need to want to transform your life and maybe even transform this connection, this situation that is kind of difficult, that feels like you're trapped in it. It's a mental entrapment. It's not really a physical entrapment. And that is something that you have to gauge and understand here. that you're not physically trapped here. This situation isn't keeping you from physically moving, possibly in a different direction here. There is a huge need to want to transform this situation. We have the Six of Swords here coming for you. So the Six of Swords is about peace. It's about moving from a place of chaos to a place of peace, but it does involve movement. It does involve momentum, okay? This could mean that you need to take some time to process this Three of Swords, this pain, this betrayal. I feel like you do feel betrayed by this person in some type of way, or just maybe even betrayed by life. There is a need to process these difficult feelings, these difficult thoughts that come with the Star. Ultimately, the Star is about transformation. It's about transmuting those difficult emotions, those difficult situations in order to become the Star, in order to become inspired. The Six of Swords is giving yourself a mental break. And how to give yourself a mental break is you removing yourself away from this situation in ways that you can, okay? Three of Cups. I would definitely focus on celebrating something here, even if this is celebrating the friendship that you had with this person, celebrating the love here, celebrating the good things in your life. There needs to be a focus here. Focus on your achievements. Focus on the greatness here. I think this situation is taking away from all of, it could just be your focus. It feels like, in this card, this person is like, balling up. They're like balling up. Like they're writing something down. They're trying to process something, trying to figure it out. I feel like tapping into the good things, the friendships around you, the people that support you, the people that see your greatness, the people that are acknowledging, focusing on your greatness is going to help you transmute this energy. It almost feels like, here's the Six of Cups. It almost feels like, you're doing too much, trying to possibly understand something with the Page of Swords, maybe even understand somebody else. And what's coming to mind is something that I usually speak upon here, is that it's not really your job to understand why people do the things that they do. It's not your job to understand why they're doing these things, why they are the way that they are. The only job with you in your life is to understand what resonates and what doesn't resonate. So it feels like you're trying to dissect, and that dissection, trying to deeply understand somebody's pain, somebody's trauma, somebody's dark side, is keeping you from entering into this phase where you are manifesting that dream physical life. Even if that's just like the process of getting there, it's keeping you from tapping into this energy. Because honestly, you will never understand why people do the things that they do. You will never understand why they want to be the way that they understand that. They are the only ones that can understand that. You are never going to understand that. All you have to understand is what resonates with you and what doesn't. And sometimes we make things worse by like obsessing about that, because what I see here is that it's distracting you. This situation is a toxic situation, and it's distracting you from being seen. It's distracting you from transforming, transmuting, possibly even your own pain, like taking this situation. Like, I would focus more on how you are feeling and how you can move towards feeling better versus trying to figure out what's going on between you and this person, what's going on with this person. Okay? Because ultimately, it's not your job to figure out things for them. Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles. So this is about collaboration. The way that you can collaborate with this person, if you're in a deep, like, there's a lot of love here. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of like friendship. There's a lot of like care, but it does feel like this situation is hurting you the more that you focus on it. I would work on maybe collaborating, you know, collaborative energy versus trying to understand where somebody is, you know. It could be possible that this person doesn't understand exactly that there needs to be a disconnect. I do see that. There needs to be a disconnect with the Four of Swords, you know, and maybe you could collaborate with this person if this is a family member. But it's important for you to understand that you're not going to fully understand why people are the way that they are. You know, you just need to understand that you don't resonate with it. It's going to be different for each and one of you. There is an energy of not being on the same page. And so with the Four of Swords, that disconnect that I'm feeling, that can really help you move in the direction that you need to go, and possibly also move this connection in the way that it needs to go in order to get the results that you want out of this situation. It does require you taking a step back and letting things kind of like marinate. The Four of Swords, I like to say that with this card, is like letting things marinate, stepping back, doing meditation, contemplation, letting things process. It's going to bring more things into focus, and it's also going to move you from a place of chaos, your mind, into a place of peace and acceptance that we see with the Six of Swords. You know, also a message that comes with the Five of Wands a lot is like, you know, this represents like a conflict, combative energy, like different points of views not being on the same page, right? But it is a very petty, it's not as serious as you might be making this more of an importance, a priority, a more focus. Because like the message, one of the lessons that come with the Five of Wands is to ask, is my energy needed? Is my energy needed? Can I really benefit from this situation? Can I benefit? And maybe even let yourself marinate in that energy to see, like, maybe I'm not contributing, I'm not collaborating in the best way possible for this connection. Maybe it doesn't need so much of my energy, so much of my focus, so much of my control. With the Devil, you could be trying to control a lot that is not necessarily, you know, your place to control. So the advice here would to be step off and to take a moment to collect your thoughts and your feelings, to see if this is really a betrayal, if this is really a painful situation. You know, does it require you to be this stressed? You know, is there other things that you could be focusing on that it will be beneficial to the situation, to your life, you know, to your development? You know, sometimes we freak out too much, and it's honestly, we over exaggerate is what I'm feeling here. There could be an over exaggeration. And also your silence can also help this situation. Letting things kind of like transmute and change. The Star talks about change, you know, and letting that like process period transmute. When you try to control, you could also hurt the situation, I'm hearing. Ace of Cups, I do feel like in the future you're going to, I want to use a different deck. I feel like in the future, there's going to be a new opportunity of love that will change this situation, that will change this situation upside down, is what I'm hearing. There's going to be a new opportunity for love. So maybe if there's a new beginning for you and this person, there's going to be something new coming in that will change how you view this situation, is what I'm getting here. Okay, so I want to pull from the OG deck just to kind of like end this collective message. It feels like the advice here is to relax, let things process. And one way that you can help transmute and process this energy, it's not about, you know, ignoring the feelings, ignoring the pain, ignoring, you know, the triggers. It's noticing like, okay, I am being triggered, processing how you're feeling, but noticing when you are either numbing yourself or going too hard on a situation that is putting you in a feeling that's not going to help benefit you. Okay. Let's shuffle these up. But it's also like, you know, what was I going to say? It's like letting things process, you know, letting things kind of sit for a while and taking that time to reflect on your feelings alone, not with this person. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah. Alone and not with this person. And then also finding time to take your mind off of this and putting it into things that's a great way to transmute energy. You know, it's not saying that you're suppressing or you're forgetting or you're ignoring, but you're processing your emotions alone with the Four of Swords. You know, this person is not going to help you process it. You're not going to help them process it. You have to process this individually. And during that time, direct your focus onto your own life and the things that you want to see grow. Okay. Particularly your finances with the Ten of Swords. That was one of the Ten of Swords. See, there's a lot of pain. There could be a lot of betrayal, a lot of pain, you know, on either party with either of you. And you need to take it in and process it and transmute it, you know, whether that's about your body, your physical life, though, with 10 of Pentacles. One from the start. So it's important to know that you're winning. This situation, you're going to come out on top. Whatever you want from this situation, you're going to get it. You're going to get exactly that. I'm hearing. Google. You might need to do a Google search. You might need to do a, you know, some research on whatever this is, or maybe you need to do some research, you know, outside of this situation. We have you're a threat. So there could be an energy of feeling threatened here. Okay. Co-create. Understand that you're co-creating this situation, and the way that you participate matters and it makes an effect. Let's be a cause. You are a person that causes effect. And so when you lead with that intention, you're able to create the outcome that you want. Okay. So notice when you're being affected, are you an effect or are you a cause here? There's two different types of people. There are people that only feel like they're just being affected by life. And there are people that say, I cause an effect on my life. So it's about intentional. We have being intentional. We have big boss on the move. So it's time for you to, you know, use your power, use your power, make these big boss moves in your life in general, not just like, you know, in your career, but it's time to look at life as, you know, with intention is what I'm feeling here. Okay. 1 in a million, 1 of 1. So there's unique energy. Okay. Also, this person could be wanting, you know, give me attention is what I'm feeling, like give to me. And maybe the best situation right now is not to give anything, or give in a different way, you know, and not necessarily how this person is wanting you to show up. Okay. Copy this, copy that. So somebody could be copying, and it's time to just step back and let things kind of process. This could be a Leo, 333. Okay. It could be a sign. So look up the angel number 333, eyes on you when you perform. Somebody could be copying you. Somebody could be looking at how you perform things. So the way that you show up is important. The way that you show yourself is important. But just notice when somebody is copying you, trying to mimic. 444 is also another number. Check out the description box if you guys want to book a reading with me. I am booking all of my readings on Etsy now because I love to communicate with my clients back and forth, and Etsy allows me to do that. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next collective. Peace.